Right, this lesson is going to be about drawing exponential and logarithmic graphs. So let's get straight in there and have a look at what an exponential function actually looks like. So let's take, for example, the exponential function y equals 2 to the x. So if I make a table of values for x and y, so x is, let's say we're going to substitute in -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So the y is 2 to the -2, which is a quarter. 2 to the -1, which is a half. 2 to the 0, which is 1. 2 to the 1, which is 2. 2 to the 2, which is 4. I can see it just grows faster and faster each time, doubling every time we add 1 to the x value. So that the way that this function is going to look is like this here. So starts off growing not very fast, crosses at 1, and then starts growing very fast here. And the axis here, the x-axis, is an asymptote. So asymptote at y equals 0. What I'm also going to do is draw y equals 2 to the -x on the same graph. So here what we've done, we've multiplied by -1 on the inside. That's a reflection in the y-axis. If you're unsure about any of this, go back to transformations and have another look at that, and that'll explain why it's a reflection in the y-axis. So that one would look like this here. So we can see two different types of graph here. There's exponential growth because the curve's growing, and exponential decay because the curve is decaying as the x value gets bigger. So let's just spell out now when growth and decay will happen. So let's say we've got y equals a to the power of x. If a is bigger than 1, that's going to give growth because we've got a number bigger than 1 to a power. So as we increase that power, the number gets bigger. Or a is between 0 and 1 would mean decay. And then we've got y equals a to the -x. So a being bigger than 1, well, that would cause decay because we'd have a number to a negative power, meaning that as x gets bigger, the curve gets lower. So that would be decay. And a being between 0 and 1, in this case, would be growth. So that's just a couple of facts to remember. So let's move on now. Let's do an example to do with transformations of functions. And there's the question there. Sketch the graphs of y equals 1/5 to the x and 1/5 to the -x on the same axes, showing any points of intersection with the axes and clearly labelling which curve is which. So there's our axis. And we'll start with 1/5 to the power of x. Now that's going to be exponential decay because we've got a number smaller than 1 but bigger than 0 to the power of x. So as x increases, this fraction here, when raised to a higher power, is going to get smaller. So it's going to look something like this. So I'll label that y equals 1/5 to the x. And the point of intersection there with the axis is 0, 1, like that. 1/5 to the minus x is going to be the mirror image of that through the y-axis. Looking like that. Y equals 1/5 to the minus x. So 1/5 to the power of x is decay. So 1/5 to the minus x must be growth, because we've got a number smaller than 1 but bigger than 0 being raised to a negative power. So increasing x is going to make this bigger. So there we have it, and both crossing at 0, 1, and we have an asymptote here at y equals 0. So let's do another example, and this is one involving transformations. So sketch the graph of y equals 4 to the x minus 3 on a set of axes, showing any points of intersection with the axes and clearly showing any asymptotes and their respective equations. So I'm going to start off by doing a rough sketch, very, very rough, of what 4 to the x would look like. Well, 4 is bigger than 1, so it's going to be exponential growth, like that. And this would no way be acceptable as a final answer, because it's just an awfully presented graph. In fact, one there where the curve moves away from the asymptote, which isn't allowed. But that's y equals 4 to the x for the purposes of my rough sketch and just for intermediate working purposes. Then what's going to happen? I'm translating it 3 downwards in the y direction. So the asymptote was here, but now it's going to be dropped 3 units like this, as is the graph. So it's going to look like that. It originally crossed at 1, but having been dropped 3 units now, it's going to cross at minus 2. And that there is y equals minus 3 is the equation of the asymptote. But there's one more point of intersection we need to find there, and that's when y equals 0. So I'm going to let y equal 0, which means that 4 to the x minus 3 equals 0, which means that 4 to the x equals 3, and log base 4 both sides, which means that log base 4 of 4 to the x, make that look like 4 to the x there rather than 4x, log base 4 of 4 to the x equals log base 4 of 3. Yes, that means that x equals log base 4 of 3. So that's all the ingredients we need now to be able to draw the curve. So let's go for a proper attempt now. So what we want is a horizontal dotted line to represent the asymptote at y equals minus 3. So this might take you multiple attempts. So there, this point here, we know that that is 0, minus 2. On the original graph it was 0, 1, but it's been translated downwards 3 units. We know this one is log base 4 of 3, 0. And we know, as we've already written down, that the asymptote has equation y equals minus 3. So that's everything that was asked for, and that's y equals 4 to the x minus 3. So now let's have a look at some logarithmic graphs. And all I'm going to do is show you the shape of a logarithmic graph, then set you off on the worksheet. So this here is y equals log base a of x. So that there is the shape of y equals log base a of x. And the blue graph is when a is bigger than 1. This red graph here, symmetrical, reflected through the y-axis. And this one is when a is between 0 and 1. And that again is just something to remember. So analogous to exponential growth and decay, when it is bigger than 1, the graph's going to the right, sort of growing, going to the left, sort of decaying. And the last thing to note is that these graphs get forever less steep, but will still grow to infinity. If we keep increasing the value of x, we will still get to infinity, just very slowly. So have a go at the worksheet, look at transforming some of these graphs, do every question, and the more questions you do, the more likely you are to remember the shape of the graph in an exam, so go for it.